As people were talking to police, police set up a perimeter pretty much around this street while they made those arrests, loaded people into those vans, and now you're seeing what became of that. So people have started to follow police west. I would imagine that they're going to continue to follow them back towards the downtown area. And as they follow them, we will follow them and let everybody know where this procession is.
I'm falling asleep.
Nick, thank you. So shortly after the grand jury announcement at 1:15, 4 hours ago, Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron spoke about the investigation during a news conference in Frankfurt. Wait for News reporter David Mattingly was there for that. So David Cameron says the investigation found that the LMPD officers did knock before busting down the door to
Yeah, but they knock and bust at the same time.
Yeah. Who we are, 6 months and 10
They
days
announce themselves
after
as they're
Breonna
knocking.
Taylor killed in her apartment by LMPD officers. And Attorney General Daniel Cameron was laying out the facts for us as turned up by his own investigation with his office. And right off the bat, he said there was a lot of talk about no-knock warrants in this case, but he says that was not the case here. Listen.
Evidence shows that officers both knocked and announced their presence at the apartment. The officers' statements about their announcement are corroborated by an independent witness who was near in proximity
People ain't gonna like him. He didn't do a very good job. He's
In
a
other words,
prosecutor.
the warrant was not served as a no-knock warrant.
Some of the other information released today by Attorney General Cameron included who fired the fatal shot that killed Breonna Taylor. That came from Officer Cosgrove.
So why
Officer
didn't he
Mattingly
get?
was wounded
Why
in the
didn't he
leg.
get arrested?
I don't know. I guess
Those
probably
two
because that
officers
one's the
both
only one that
returned
shot.
fire earlier in our
The other one
newscast
may,
earlier
the other
today.
ones may not
The
have
Attorney
shot.
General said that their actions
guns
His
were
shot's the one
justified.
that
Their use
killed
of
her,
deadly
but
force was justified
there were
in this
other
case.
shots in it
So,
besides
we're
his.
looking at the 3 counts that were handed down to
Oh.
the grand jury of first-degree wanton
Shit,
endangerment.
it's been a long ass day.
It has been.
Shots that he fired into Breonna Taylor's apartment that went into the next apartment, endangering some of her neighbors. That's why there are 3
I feel
counts here.
heavy.
But
Me
in
too.
this case, the bottom line here is there were no indictments released today that were
Jim, it's
connected
about to-
directly to the
I
death
got a
of
little
Sure.
Breonna
yeah.
Taylor. In Frankfurt, David Mattingly, Wave 3 News.
So right after the announcement,
Well,
Wait for News reporter
I
Tori
didn't get one
Gessner
out.
went
Too
back
far.
to the complex where Breonna Taylor lived,
but
located
they-
on Springfield Drive, and she spoke to a neighbor.
Tyler,
Come
here.
I'm be sick.
Oh, shut up.
Friend,
I'm
Taylor's
gonna be
boyfriend,
sick.
Ken Walker.
I'm gonna be sick.
I see it like
I'm such
this.
a
Same
sickie.
time while you
Sicky,
got it.
sicky,
You know what I
sicky.
mean?
outside of
I'm
Breonna
sick,
Taylor's
Mommy.
apartment,
Mommy,
there's
Mommy,
a
do
memorial
this with me.
Neighbors
Yeah.
tell me it's grown over time.
Oh,
I'm
mother.
joining
dear.
it. I'm joining my view.
Suing
Let's
some
see.
of the LMPD
Oh, mother.
Oh, look, now there's 2 people view.
Take a picture of us.
The lawsuit says the officers, quote, blindly shot throughout their apartment and almost hit a man in the head. Neighbors say a woman also lived there who was pregnant at the time, along with her young son who was sleeping inside. The family claims some of the bullets hit items in
Don't do
their
that,
living
don't do
room,
that.
dining room, kitchen, hallway, and shattered the glass door. Another neighbor who was home that night says she woke up to gunshots and then later found out the bullets hit the neighboring apartment.
Horrific. It could have been us. That could have been us just as well. Like I said, I thought it was my house.
Thank
'Cause
God it was.
It was just so close.
Pruitt also tells me that some of the neighbors have moved out since then, including the family that's suing the LMPD officers. In the South End, Tori Gessner, Wave 3 News.
One of the attorneys for Breonna Taylor's family tweeted about the grand jury decision today. Ben Crump saying, quote, Jefferson County grand jury indicts former officer Brett Hankinson with 3 counts of wanton endangerment in the first degree for bullets that went into other apartments, but nothing for the murder of Breonna Taylor. This is outrageous and offensive, unquote. The family's been saying they wanted at least manslaughter charges against all 3 officers involved.
One of the officers cleared in the Breonna Taylor shooting says the decision to only indict Hankinson shows the system worked. Through his attorney, LMPD Sergeant John Mattingly sent this statement saying, quote, the grand jury's decision to not indict Sergeant Mattingly or Detective Cosgrove shows that the system worked and that grand jurors recognized and respected the facts of the case. The death of Breonna Taylor is a tragedy, but these officers did not act in a reckless or unprofessional manner. They did their duty, performed their roles as law enforcement officers, and above all, did not break the law.
Protesters have been set up in Jefferson Square Park every day since May 28th, and today was no different. Wave 3 News reporter Caitlin Ross live at 6th and Jefferson to show us what's happening right now. Oh, I'm told Caitlin is not there right now. So we can tell you, though, that they set up early today. When they got the news, we saw several of the protesters with tears in their eyes, wiping away tears, and they took off. And they went on a march. They went down Broadway and went out into the Highlands, which we picked up later, which we've shown you on the newscast.
Well, we just heard from Mayor Fisher a short time ago. We know he's issued 3 executive orders. The first one was a declaration of a state of emergency, and the second closed parking garages, 5 of them, also on-street parking, and then this afternoon, a new curfew announcement.
My third executive order sets a countywide 72-hour curfew from 9 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. to people in the community to work, going to and from work, houses of worship for services, for those seeking medical attention for themselves or others. Most of the violence that we've encountered over the past few months has occurred after dark. So we're asking that if you decide to join a protest, you wrap things up by 8 o'clock or so, and so you can start to head home and be home by 9 p.m.
LMPD Interim Chief Robert Schroeder reiterating today police will not tolerate violence or destruction of property under Fisher's order. All Metro government buildings, including City Hall and Metro Hall, will be closed the rest of today and all day Thursday as well. The mayor issuing a plea for downtown businesses to allow employees to work from home if possible. The mayor of St. Matthews has also issued a state of emergency, and that too comes with a 72-hour curfew. Everyone is supposed to stay in their homes between 9 p.m. and 6:30 a.m. The order will be reevaluated Saturday to see if that should be extended.
Louisville Metro Police say the Kentucky National Guard has been activated to respond to Louisville. Earlier this week, Governor Beshear said both KSB and the Guard were on standby. Beshear said each agency would operate under its own command and would be here to offer support to LMPD. When protests in downtown Louisville got destructive in late May, Mayor Fisher instructed the governor to send in the National Guard and Kentucky State Police to, quote, help keep the peace.
The Louisville Metro Council was quick to pass Breonna's law in June, banning no-knock warrants in Louisville. So how